Well, I've come in to see a friend of mine in Chiang today, and I thought I'd pop by into Taipei Gate. I was interested to see a vlog by somebody who I follow on YouTube today. His name's Wayne, Walkabout Wayne. Check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. He was talking about how quiet it is here and how the tourists aren't coming into the country, and how quiet it is here in the city. But people have been asking me for an update on what's going on, and I'm afraid I'm not the person to talk to about that here in the city. I'm predominantly outside of town, but check his channel out. You'll see a lot of update information there. So that's Walkabout Wayne. Incidentally, I'm looking at these pigeons around me and the people who are selling food. Now they're taking photographs of people as well. I was under the impression it was made illegal. The pigeon feeder sellers were pushed away 6-8 months ago, but by the look of it, they've come back. Anyway, I want to talk to you about what I mentioned in a recent video, the lush green video, about retiring to Thailand. Before I do so, what I would like to do is to explain for clarity and for ease of understanding what I'm talking about here, is to explain that there are possibly 5 groups of people who are attracted to come to Thailand. Thailand offers these 5 groups of people something. Group number 1 are the tourists, obviously. They come here because they're looking for the beaches, the bars, the babes, a relaxing way of life, to stay here for a short time, take in the sun, the sea, and the really liberal way of life. Now, they don't intend to stay long. Well, the next group of people I want to talk to you about are the family builders. Really, it's the people who come here to start a family, or be with their family. They've maybe found somebody in another country and they come here back home, or they're found a date on the internet and it's worked out and they're coming back here to live with them. Maybe they are holidaying out here and they found somebody to fall in love with and they want to start their life here. But these are the family builders I'm referring to. These are the people that want to be together for the rest of their lives. I came to Thailand with a partner. I knew the person I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and she was with me in the UK, and I knew that when we came here we would make it work, whatever. This is the amazing thing. I had no plan to come here and do something when I came to Thailand. I was jumping off a cliff. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I wanted to retire and I just wanted to go. I wanted to end my work after many years and just go. Well, after many years of working, getting up early in the morning, going off to work, getting on that carousel and living your whole life based upon a schedule, a routine. Getting off that schedule, getting off that carousel, was a life-changing event. And I'm still reminded today when I get off the treadmill and I've been fast walking at 6 kilometers an hour for the last hour, and all of a sudden I step off the treadmill and my feet are resting. My head is still going. My head is still going at 6 kilometers an hour. And it's a bit like that with the retirement. You come out of a work environment with that routine, and then all of a sudden nothing. You get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you go about your day thinking, I've got to find something to do, I've got to find a routine, I've got to actually find a purpose in my life. And that is the magic word here. Purpose is so important. If we don't have a purpose in our lives, in our days, one day just fades into another. It becomes very boring, very frustrating that you've stopped something that was giving you some pleasure. That's why you did it so long. But you've now got nothing as a purpose in your day. That is an absolute life changer. Now, I did that for a couple of years. I actually put my feet up. I started to do some gardening. I was driving around a lot, looking at sites. I was enjoying Thailand and enjoying being with my life partner and seeing family, meeting family and friends here. But I didn't have a purpose. I wasn't the person actually going off out to work. I wasn't the person doing something for a purpose. I didn't feel as if I had a reason to exist. I'm not talking about suicidal feelings here. I'm talking about what's the point. What is the point of me having a day? What is in a day? What is the activity going to be today? It's really difficult. And after 2 years, I answered an ad in a local magazine. That's before Facebook, and I got involved with Care for Dogs. This newly founded organisation needed help, and I got involved in rescuing and helping adoptions and all sorts with Care for Dogs. It became a full-time activity for me, 7 days a week, and I was there for a number of years. It gave me something to think about when I was going to sleep. I was going to sleep thinking I've done something with a purpose today. I've done something that was useful. I haven't just wasted my day. And that brought also my interest out in photography, which I'd had for quite a while, but also about documentary, about capturing something, a start, a middle, and end. It was capturing the life of this dog, about the story, about the rescue, about the recovery, about the the final days of that dog, or where that dog was going to, the onward new life for that dog. This documentary gearing of my mind happened very much during that time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's no small consequence that's what's actually underpinning my how happy I am doing these vlogs. Because it's a story. I enjoy telling these stories, but these purpose meanings of these things is very important. And if you don't have that understanding before you come, that you will need to find a purpose, you will just rot away. You will just become so fed up, so depressed. And many retirees do become depressed. They become isolated because they've not found they have a purpose, something to do on a daily basis. They don't have a reason to, I want to use the word exist, but that sounds too fatalistic. But having a reason to get up in the morning. Important message. Find something to do with your life. Practice it. Do something with it. And if you are thinking about retiring and you've not retired yet, think about the consequences of stopping and getting off that carousel. What it's going to do to you. You'll think it's a holiday at first, but after a while you'll realize that actually your new life starts here. There are opportunities for you to enjoy. There are opportunities for you to build and grow and develop and enjoy the rest of your life. It just doesn't need to stop. You need to overcome, however, that jolt, that sudden stop that you will experience. It's very important to overcome that and grasp the opportunities that are ahead of you. Okay, so the next group of people I'd like to talk about, and remember, I'm really making some broad generalizations here. I'm talking about job seekers, people who come here to Thailand to find a job, open a business. People who are looking to start a business and in the process educate their family, bring their children up here, benefit from Southeast Asian education, and also have a relaxed lifestyle to some degree, but run a business. Maybe they'll bring their faith with them, their skills that they can offer to companies here in Thailand. So they're actually here for the family, for their business. Maybe they don't have a long-term interest in staying here in Thailand. Now the next group I want to talk about are the people who are, in essence, nomads. These are people who have, got no roots anywhere. They've left their homes. They're travelling the world. They're doing business in various countries. They're moving about. They're not necessarily wanting to be here, not necessarily wanting to be anywhere else. They're just on the move. Now this place is very interesting to them because it is a much easier way of life. There's a lot to offer for people here for their money, and it's a nice climate. Some of the people move out of town and go into places out in the countryside, but many people hang around within the city area. Now these people are needing to stay, wanting to stay a longer term, rather than just like the tourist group. These people are wanting to find a reason to stay, and therefore if they can get some sort of qualification, certificate through learning, taking on a visa type for learning, studying, that helps them stay here longer, and also maybe teaching too, maybe offering a service to people. So they haven't got a long-term commitment here. They're just interested in passing through, but enjoying their time here. There are many people like this. Well, I've stopped at this little place called Valley Coffee, Chiang Mai. First time I've been here. From the road, it's hidden because you've got a screen of greenery in front of it. But behind, you've got a little cave walk through, and behind me here, you've got what looks to be like a head of some creature. The coffee is quite nice actually, and I'm enjoying an espresso here by the Ratchaput Road. Well, the next group are retirees. Obviously, that's what I was going to talk about. But before I talk about the retirees, I'd like to talk to you about integration. Now, the term integration, I mean, whereby it's assimilation, it's becoming accustomed to, it's understanding, it's respecting. And in respecting, it's showing empathy and sympathy for the local customs, the local ways of life. And that integration is so important for people staying in Thailand. And if people do not integrate, life's not so enjoyable. Life, in Thailand is enjoyable, but it could be better if people just find a way to integrate a little. Now, the tourists, they really don't have a lot of inroad. They don't have a lot of ability to get into the integrated culture of Thailand. They don't have the ability to mix with the Thai people as much as some of the other people. Of course, they'll meet tour guides, they'll meet people in their hotels, they'll meet people where they're eating and where they're travelling around, but it's not actually getting into Thai life. You've then got the nomads. Now these people are much the same. They are not necessarily getting underneath the culture. They're here predominantly for a short period of time, but maybe 6 months, maybe a year, and then they'll move on. But a lot of them don't get underneath the cover of Thai culture. The family guys I'll come to in a moment, but the job seekers, once again, often they come with their family, and they remain in their foreigner bubble. So just like the tourists, just like the nomads, the job seekers, they tend to be remaining within that foreigner bubble. It's not a bad thing. You know, people enjoy their own society, social, aware company, and to have you know, friends that you can rely upon in a strange country, in a country they're not familiar with, is a great bonus, and therefore you can feel as if you're at home in another country. Now, this bubble is all very good for those people, but it doesn't allow them to participate and to feel at home in Thailand with Thai people. There's a little bit of a, you know, a border. It's like one side of the river to the other. It's not actually on the same side of the river. The family builder is a different category to those. The family builder, these people have come to Thailand to make Thailand their new home. They try to integrate, they try to be part of Thailand as much as possible. After all, they've got a Thai partner. They've come to Thailand to be with that partner, and therefore they'll try to get into Thai culture, and integration for them is a lot easier. Now, retirees have a little bit of a dilemma, because sometimes retirees come on their own, and a retiree male may well have come on holidays and come on you know, adventures in Thailand and thought, that's where I want to go, that's where I want to spend the rest of my days. And they come here and they find that there's you know, a real difficulty in getting underneath that carpet, lifting the carpet and seeing the real Thailand culture. How do they get there? How do they get underneath that carpet and find that culture? How do they find ways in? And that's really hard for single retirees. So if a retiree is coming here for you know, the long term, wouldn't it be ideal if they had a plan about how they're going to integrate, how they're going to make it easier for themselves, how somebody is going to help them? It's much the same for women, and women come here to retire and find it a little bit difficult. Sometimes, just like the men, they will fall into this Phalang bubble, this foreigner bubble that, you know, the tourists and the nomads and the job seekers fall into. And that foreigner bubble, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. But to actually live your life here in Thailand and not be part of, you know, the real Thai culture is, and enjoy the Thai culture, is, you know, it's not quite what the expectations maybe were. So having that plan, that ace up your sleeve, that, you know, something in your back pocket to think, I'm going to be helped through my integration, my assimilation into Thailand, with a friend, with a partner, is so important. And if you can do that, life in Thailand becomes so much more, you know, by being immersed in it, it becomes so much more enjoyable. There's so many aspects of Thai life that, you know, you've got no idea exist unless you are talking with Thai people and in a Thai family, in a Thai home. You've got no idea that these things are going on until after the event, and you think, oh, that happened, and then you get to know it, and maybe next year you'll pick up on it. But it's like that introduction you get by having a friend, a companion, somebody you can trust, is so important. People who want to come here and live long term seriously need to avoid depression. And what I mean by that is a feeling of, as I've been talking about, of having no purpose, but moreover not being part of local Thai activity, and therefore feeling isolated. And if one comes here for a longer term stay, you know, the family builders, the retirees. If you fail to integrate or don't make that effort, that depression can creep in. The frustrations of trying to find a way of making days happier and making your life more satisfactory to you, and being of a purpose and need for other people, pleasing the people around you, being happy. It's all very difficult. So by taking steps to integrate, one becomes more fulfilled and more satisfying of that purpose. I hope I haven't gone on too long about this word purpose and the term integration. You know, I wanted to give you a brief. I wanted to give you an understanding of my perspective on this. I've been very general in some of the terms I've used, and trying not to categorize people, but trying to give you an understanding of what I'm relating to in these, the reasons people come to Thailand. So hopefully you've found that of some use. Anyway, thank you for staying in there. Thank you for listening and watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Leave me a comment below and consider giving me a thumbs up, please. Check back on a regular basis. I try to make videos a couple of times a week, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Till next time, stay well, stay safe. Bye-bye.